Practice problem number 4 for chapter 24. This exercise requires us to calculate the return on investment for a company. And we are given the company's information here in this chart regarding their sales, income, and average assets. The company's CFO believes that the income or that income for next year will be $1.2 million. So it looks like that's $200,000 more than what is shown here in this chart that occurred in the past year. And average assets of 12.5 million will be the same as it'll be the same as the past year. So it'll be still $12.5 million for the new year. So we got to do two things. Number one, we have to compute ROI or return on investment for the past year. And then for number two, we have to, let's see, if the CFO's forecast is correct, we have to determine what the ROI is going to be for the next year. So starting with number one, we have to know what the formula is for ROI. How do we calculate it? So we're going to take ROI, which is the return on investment. And that consists of taking your income and dividing it by average assets. And that's it. So we're going to do a plug-in for number one. So income came out to be $1 million. Excuse me. And then average assets came out to be 12.5 million. So got to get out the calculator here. Let's see, is this going to be 8%? Let's see, 1 million divided by 12.5 million. Okay, that comes out to be 8%. So this is our ROI, our return on investment. Now, as far as we're determining whether this is a good thing or a bad thing, or a favorable or unfavorable percentage, it all depends on the company's goals, what they were expecting as an ROI from a specific investment. If they were expecting a 12% ROI from a specific investment, but we see that it's 8%, then they were unsuccessful. They didn't meet their goal. But if it was expected for an ROI to be 6%, then yes, they've exceeded their expectations. So it all depends on the business, though, as far as what their goals were when it comes down to determining what the ROI should be for a specific investment. Okay, number two. This is where it lets us know that, or this is telling us that if the CFO's forecast is correct, so forecast meaning that if the income was $1.2 million for the next year, or if it is for the next year, 1.2 million, what is going to be the return on investment for the next year? So using the same formula, we're going to take that net income or income of $1.2 million. So this is your projection here. And we're going to divide it by the average assets. And they let us know that the average assets will be the same as the past year. So it will be the same for the next year as the past year. So we're going to plug in the $12.5 million. Okay, so since our numerator is greater than our denominator, the ROI should be higher. So that's a plus. So we're going to take 1.2 million divided by 12.5. And that's going to give us, 9.6%. So that is an increase from the previous year. But again, it depends on what their goals were or what their goals are. So if their goal is to have an ROI from an investment or from investments, plural, of 9%, then they've exceeded expectations. That's great. So it all depends on the company's goals. But yes, here's the completion of number one and number two for this exercise.